everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive. It feels like we're talking about a new COVID variant every other week, right? But this time, it's not just another variant, it's a recombinant variant, which is, well, let's unpack this a bit.
Right, so this new XEC variant has been making headlines, and it's definitely worth taking a closer look. You've got this new variant, XEC, which is recombinant, meaning it's essentially a hybrid of two previously circulating Omicron subvariants, KS1.1 and KEPI.3.3. It's like a genetic Frankenstein.
Wow, Frankenstein. So this variant is like a mashup of different versions. That's kind of scary and fascinating at the same time. The article mentions that XEC is more transmissible than its predecessors. What does that actually mean for us?
That means it's more likely to spread from person to person, and what's really concerning is the rate at which it's gaining ground. Australian data scientist Mike Honey even puts a number to it, saying XEC has a growth advantage of 4.9% per day over other variants, meaning for every 100 cases today, there'll be nearly 105 tomorrow, showing how quickly it's spreading.
Whoa, that's a pretty big number. So if Honey's prediction is right, XEC could be the dominant strain by the end of the week. Is that a cause for alarm?
It's definitely something to be aware of. We've seen how quickly new variants can become dominant, and this one seems to be moving fast. But it's important to remember that we're not talking about some super deadly new strain here. This is a new variant, sure, but it's important to remember that the current wave of COVID infections is still primarily caused by other Omicron subvariants.
So we know it's spreading fast, but what does that mean for us on the ground? What should we be looking out for?
What's fascinating here is that while XEC is new, the symptoms appear to be similar to what we've seen with previous Omicron variants. Think high temperature, aches, tiredness, cough, sore throat, the usual suspects. This doesn't mean it's mild, just that it presents similarly. It's still important to take any symptoms seriously.
That's actually a relief. I was worried about some completely new set of symptoms. So sounds like the usual suspects, but we shouldn't let our guard down, right?
Exactly. And this leads us to another concern. The dreaded tripledemic.
The tripledemic. Remind me what that is again?
It's the idea that we could be facing a simultaneous surge in flu, COVID-19, and RSV, the respiratory syncytial virus. It's a pretty concerning possibility, especially with XEC's high transmissibility. Imagine the NHS already being stretched thin, then add in a wave of flu and RSV on top of this new variant. That's a perfect storm scenario.
I remember hearing about Australia's experience last winter, where they had a major tripledemic. It sounds like a recipe for a really tough time.
It's a good point to bring up Australia's experience because their winter is our summer, so it often acts as a kind of preview for what we might see in the UK. And with this more transmissible variant, XEC, entering the picture, it's a bit like adding fuel to the fire, if you will. We have to be extra vigilant.
So we're in this situation where XEC is spreading, potentially leading to a tripledemic. But what are we supposed to do about it? Okay, so we're in this situation where XEC is spreading, potentially leading to a tripledemic. But what are we supposed to do about it?
Right, well, let's talk testing. Oh, good. With testing no longer mandatory, it feels like we're navigating this new phase of the pandemic on our own.
Yeah, what's the best course of action if someone suspects they have COVID?
So routine COVID testing is no longer mandatory, even if you have symptoms.
Okay.
However, you can still buy rapid tests at pharmacies and online for about £2.
So it sounds like the emphasis is shifting more towards personal responsibility then.
Exactly. While you're not required to test, the most important thing is to stay home if you're feeling unwell. This is crucial to prevent spreading any respiratory virus, whether it's COVID, the flu, or RSV.
Speaking of proactive measures, what's the latest on vaccinations?
The NHS is currently rolling out free autumn booster shots, but it's mainly for specific groups.
Okay.
Over 65s, care home residents, those in high-risk categories, and frontline health and social care workers.
What about everyone else? Can they still get vaccinated if they want to?
Absolutely. Even if you're not eligible for a free NHS booster, you can pay for one at a pharmacy or private clinic. Prices vary, but generally fall between £45 and £99.
It seems like vaccination is even more important with this potential tripledemic looming.
You've hit the nail on the head. With multiple viruses circulating, vaccination is our best bet for protecting ourselves, especially from severe illness.
So we've covered a lot of ground today about XEC, the tripledemic threat testing, and vaccines. What's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
Stay informed, stay vigilant, and take proactive steps to protect yourselves and those around you. This winter knowledge and preparedness are going to be key.
Well said. Couldn't agree more. A huge thank you to our expert for breaking down this latest development. And to our listeners, don't forget to check out the show notes for links to all the sources we discussed today. Stay healthy, everyone, and we'll catch you on the next Deep Dive.